Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Anthony Arcanum again. And earlier today, I posted a video about my father passing away and actually going to hell. Call it a near death experience, but it wasn't a near death experience because he was actually dead for several minutes on record. And I said that that was going to be one of the videos explaining how I originally became fascinated with occultism, but originally, my interest went way back. Um, Way back. I believe I was raised in a haunted house. That will actually be my next video. And on top of that, I have a family member. I'm not going to say who, but a family member very, very close to me who, growing up, always had this story of being sexually molested or raped by a demonic entity. When I was growing up, the story used to go, it used to happen several times a year. And this, as the story used to go, was that she'd be sleeping at night and she'd be in bed. And all of a sudden, she would start hearing shh, 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 like feet dragging on the floor. And then all of a sudden, she would start seeing splashes of different, kind of like in the old days when the television used to go off channel and it used to be those white and black dots. It was kind of static like that. And then all of a sudden, it would be the footprints, it would be that, and then she would start to feel paralyzed, like she couldn't move, but she would want to speak and scream for help, but she couldn't. And she would feel something sit on the bed, and then she would start to feel pressure on her chest, and she hear, like, not exactly a voice, but she kind of hear it, inside. Bring the sheets down, bring down the blankets. I'm not going to hurt you. And she said that she would just be totally petrified and she would start to call out, inside, Jesus, Jesus, please help me. And then the name of Jesus would eventually scare this demonic entity off. Um, so growing up, I didn't really, know too much about what that was. Now, when I first really started to get into occultism, I said, you know what? I'm going to look into this. And to my shock and horror, it took maybe 20 minutes, and I realized actually that this is most likely what it sounds exactly like is an incubus, and succubus attack. Incubus being a male demonic spirit that rapes women, or even in some cases other men in their sleep, and the succubus is the female. Like it said that Adam's first wife Lilith, Adam from Adam and Eve, Adam's first wife Lilith was the first ever succubus. Succubus. I have a hard time saying it, but you guys know what I'm saying. This succubus. So according to the Vatican, this is the most documented and the oldest form of demonic attack that's written, because we've only had written language for 5 or 6 thousand years, um, going back to the Sumerians, who actually also have similar demons and entities. And folklore, I mean, this is all over the place in folklore. They say that Merlin was seared by an incubus. His father was an incubus. His mother was a human. Yeah, but anyway, I believe that this is actually very true. Like I said, growing up, I didn't know what it was about, but it has all similar ways that this happens. I mean, uh, hearing and feeling a presence in your room at night while you're trying to sleep, paralysis, being so afraid to move that you can't move or speak, feeling the weight on the bed, and what they're actually, known as sitting demons. They'll sit on your chest to paralyze you, and then if you don't call out to God, if you don't figure out another way to get rid of this thing, it can actually rape you. Um, Now, she said actually, and this is a true story, one of my best friends even knows about this, and several other people. She claimed to be anal raped one time, and when she woke up in the morning, the way that she realized that it wasn't a dream was that she had blood in her underwear. So if that's not freaky, I don't know what is. And there's actually a lot of people who practice magic, practice witchcraft, who summon these things into their life, who want to sleep with these beings, who want to sleep with these entities, and that's not really a good idea. They're actually pretty easy to call into one's life since they're the demons closest, to our earthly realms. And speaking of that, the static in the television, I want to get back to that static sound that she said that she used to have. What I believe personally, after my years of study now, was that that was actually what brought this thing into fruition, into our world. That was sort of itself tapping this person into the other dimension where these demonic attacks can be encountered, because angels, demons, anything else that's actually going to come into this world is coming from another dimension or another plane of existence, and that's why it takes so many fancy things, aside from just mentalism, like the incense and the fire and the smoke and other things, to bring it into this reality, as well as a lot of people use hallucinogenic drugs and things like that. It's always to open the doorway, and that's what this fucking thing was doing. It was pretty much, breaking down the door of this religion. I mean, of this realm. And religion is what I wanted to say. Very religious people tend to be the number one targets for these demonic attacks. Very religious people, or people who are asking to have these type of encounters. And the reason is because they want to fuck with your religion. But if you're strong enough, they can't get you. They can try, but you could always send them away. So basically, yeah, in my mind, this kind of, once again, if demons are real, angels have to be real. If demons come from hell, there has to be angels coming from heaven. So we should all look into that. I know eventually, I'm gonna try to start living my life a lot better. And occultism is actually helping me open my mind to these things. But studying, putting pieces together from things that happened to me as a child is becoming very fascinating. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody call incubi or succubi into their life, because what you're actually calling is a demonic entity. And once you let it in, you're opening the veil to all kinds of nightmares. And if you're not strong enough, start following your family around. Just a lot of terrible things could happen. So my next video in this little series of mysterious, weird things that brought me into occultism is actually going to be about the haunted house that I grew up in, and strange, crazy stories. Not too crazy, not like Amityville horror-ish, but just more spooky because it's real. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna start putting more and more content out. Coming up for you guys, I'm gonna have reviews on certain grimoires and some more magic books. And whole tarot series is gonna be coming up. So like I said, like, subscribe, and the quality of the videos are going to improve as I start getting myself situated on YouTube. All right. Once again, this is Anthony Arcanum. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys soon.